Right now at 6 on Fox 61, Middletown is going to become the first city in our state to install speed and red light cameras. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is in Middletown right now. We're going to go out to him live in just about 2 minutes with more on what drivers can expect with these new cameras. But good morning to you. Happy Friday. Thanks so much for checking in with us. America Arias.
And I'm Rachel Bureau, a little TGIF. We made it. Let's check in now with Rachel Piscatelli with how the weather is looking. A bit muggy out there, Rachel.
Yeah, and starting off with a little bit of fog this morning, too, a little bit of moisture content to the air this morning, that's for sure. So looking at our reduced visibility in spots, we're looking at about a quarter-mile visibility in some locations like in Waterbury, now down to 0 in Chester, 2 in New Haven, as well as in Bridgeport. Out the door this morning, though, temperatures are close to 60 degrees, and it is overall a nice start to our morning despite the fog that we have out there. We're going to expect some cloudy skies this afternoon, and then also in addition to that, there could be a spotty shower or thunderstorm later on. Now, I know it's a little bit deceiving. It says showers out there. There could be a few for the ride home, mainly in the afternoon, but I do think there will be plenty of dry hours, too, to get outdoor activities in. Temperature is all the way up to the lower to middle 70s this afternoon. 73 in Derby, 74 in Southington, Hartford at 74 degrees, southeastern Connecticut close to 70 degrees. And then for tomorrow, we are going to be tracking this round of rain. It's going to come down pretty heavy in the morning, so expecting just a soggy morning for our Saturday if you have any morning plans. And even the late morning and early afternoon, we'll watch for some lingering showers. It does look like Sunday is going to be the pick of the weekend. We'll have more details on your weekend forecast coming up in just a bit. As we check in with the roads now here at almost 6:02, not bad in terms of what we have on the roads this morning here. There you go, Mikhail. There you go. over in West Hartford, or rather Hartford to New Haven right now looks okay. New Haven to New York is around 55 minutes, and then westbound 84 Waterbury to New York is just around an hour. Your travel speeds are around 48 miles per hour. We just have some road work that is wrapping up for the morning commute. The crash that I brought to you in the last hour over in Greenwich on the northbound side has cleared. Bridget.
All right, good news there, Rachel. Thank you. 6:02 now is your time. Middletown will be the first city in our state to install speed and red light cameras. The state approved plans to help police catch reckless drivers.
Now, Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is joining us live from Middletown now with more on what drivers can expect to see in the coming months. Glenn, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Erica, Bridget. I'm here at the Spencer School on Westfield Street. This is one of those 3 areas that will be receiving the traffic cameras. Now, this area from McCormick Lane to Bailey Road sees an average of 15,000 drivers pass on it each day. Nearly half of those drivers go 10 miles or more over the speed limit. Now, we've seen this area have problems in the past. The other 2 streets that will receive speed and red light cameras are Washington Street between Woodgate Drive and George Street, and Country Club Road between Higbee Road and Knox Boulevard. All of the studies on these roads have either shown a high volume of drivers speeding or a high number of crashes in those areas. The city held a meeting earlier this year. People who live along those streets expressed their concerns in front of the city council and said reckless driving in Middletown has gotten out of hand.
It's just crazy out there, and most everywhere we drive is crazy. We all know that, and we need the traffic controls.
As a West Street resident, I regularly see people traveling 10, 15, 20, 30 miles per hour above the speed limit on my street.
I always make a joke that if we had $1 for every car I saw go through a light, the city of Middletown wouldn't have to have a budget.
The traffic enforcement data in Middletown's proposal shows there have been a combined 487 crashes along these 3 stretches of road. The proposal also said the first offense for drivers will be a written warning, the second will be a $50 fine, and the third offense will be a $75 fine, plus an additional $15 fee when paying. While Middletown is the first city to have this approval, there are 2 other towns that have speed and traffic cameras. That's Washington and Marlborough. And while those 3 are the only ones active right now, there are currently 6 cities and towns that are currently under review to have their speed and traffic cams approved by the DOT. Live from the Spencer Street School, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
Glenn, thanks so much. Appreciate the update there. Well, 6:04, we have new details about the shooting that sent Brass Mills Center in Waterbury into a frenzy earlier this week. Waterbury police released a 42-page report, and it's giving us a better understanding of what happened leading up to the shooting.
The mall reopened yesterday morning, less than 48 hours after 5 people were shot there. And Fox 61's Alicia Hercules has the details from Waterbury.
I read through all 42 pages of the police report. It details descriptions of the victims' injuries and how they say the accused shooter, 19-year-old Tawan Washington, was caught after he escaped the mall. Multiple officers responded to the Brass Mill Center in Waterbury at around 4:45 Tuesday afternoon after getting several calls to report a shooting victim outside of IHOP. When officers got there, they found a woman with gunshot wounds to both of her legs. Once officers went into the mall, they found 4 other victims with gunshot wounds. The police report details how mall employees didn't hesitate to help the victims. The report says a K Jewelers employee carried one of the victims to the back room of the store and put pressure on their gunshot wounds until first responders arrived.
To the the people here who worked at the Brass Mall, they were helpful as well. They guided people out. They helped keep things calm here. People were hidden and were protected. So I want to thank them for what they did. This is not part of what their normal day would be like, and yet they all did a terrific job.
The report describes the scene as very chaotic. It said people were screaming for help as police were rushing in. A fire also started in the mall's food court after a stove was left on during the shooting. During the first search of the mall, police found several .40 caliber shell casings. After speaking with witnesses and using mall surveillance footage, the accused shooter, 19-year-old Tawan Washington, and a woman he came to the mall with were shopping inside of the King's clothing store when a group of people passed the store. Witnesses told police that Washington and the woman had a heated exchange with a group of people in the mall. Police interviewed the woman. She told them the group stopped outside the store and yelled for her and Washington to come out. She told police they said, quote, "We've got something for you." That's when witnesses say Washington walked towards the group, pulled out a gun, and fired it several times. 5 people were shot. After the shooting, police say Washington and the woman with him left the mall through the JCPenney and took off in a red Nissan car. Police say Washington and the woman went to his home until his parents took him to the police station to turn himself in. Investigators got a search warrant for Washington's home. They found several firearms as well as the red Nissan. Police say they also found the clothes Washington was wearing at the time of the shooting. In addition to the 5 people shot, a police officer was injured at the scene when they slipped and fell. Their elbow landed on a broken window panel. The officer was treated at the hospital. Washington now faces several charges, including 5 counts of assault and risk of injury to a minor. In Waterbury, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Alicia, thank you. 6:07 now. The mall welcomed customers back yesterday, but the shooting has some people worried about safety. Management says they are on top of it. They released this statement that says, quote, "At Brass Mill Center, the safety and security of our shoppers, employees, and retailers is our top priority. We operate with a stringent security program and partner closely with local law enforcement to provide a safe environment. And while we don't share details on specific security measures, we are in discussions with Waterbury PD to implement increased police presence and protocols, reinforcing our commitment to ensuring visitors feel safe at the center."
Oh, with the recent incidents in Waterbury, one organization is stepping up its approach to ending youth violence. Now, the group is offering a new youth program so that kids can get the help and the resources they need. And the program also supports parents. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has more.
In the last couple of days in Waterbury, we've seen a teenager arrested for the shooting at the Brass Mill Center Mall. And we had over a dozen students arrested for fights in their high school. Now, the rise in violence has some people in Waterbury concerned, and that's where Waterbury Youth Services hopes to address those concerns.
I have 2 young children of my own, and it is a worry if they're going to make it back home sometimes. So I think right now, we need to come together. We need to talk about those concerns.
Waterbury Youth Services Director Olivia Dudley shares the same concerns many parents are feeling at the moment after recent violent incidents. A total of 16 students were arrested over the last couple days after fights at Kennedy High School. And on Tuesday, a 19-year-old was arrested for shooting at the Brass Mill Center that wounded 5 people. Waterbury Youth Services is looking to address this rise in violence. The group will soon open their doors to young people and their families to promote healing and positive relationships, especially for young people with first-time offenses.
To come in and to meet with us so that we can really do case management. That's mediation, connecting them to positive outlets, making sure they have a support system so that they don't go further into the juvenile justice system. And I think that's important.
The program is designed to provide a safe space for anyone who has experienced trauma or needs a place of comfort. And officials say you can reach out any time of the day.
But I will tell them to talk it through first with someone who they know cares and with someone who can offer them positive advice. I want them to know that we do care.
Most importantly, Dudley says parent or caregiver involvement is essential to support their youth.
They are the experts in their lives and they have the answers. So our Youth Power Hour is going to open the floor and the space to do just that. What do you need? What are you feeling? They know. We can guess. We can put our data together and say this is what we believe, but if we are not talking to the youth and families, then we don't have the right answer. They are the experts in their lives.
Now, the Youth Power Hour program will kick off on June 23rd. For details, you can visit FOX61.com. In Waterbury, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Valerie, thanks so much. Oh, just a quick reminder, we have team coverage for you on the Brass Mill Center Mall shooting throughout the morning. You can also stay up to date on the investigation into the shooting with Fox 61 Plus. Download it onto your TV and watch for free.